Okay, today we continue with our class Halachot of Brachot. Today's class number 25. And we start with Sefer Chafetz Chaim. And the big topic is the same, believe in Lashon Hara. Okay, today. Broke my glasses. All right. Okay, so the big topic is prefatory remarks. Okay. We have seen that the derogatory statement about someone, just 1 second. Okay, apologies. The derogatory statement about someone is not to be believed as a fact when for even for a constructive purpose. One is to take the necessary precautions without changing his attitude toward the subject. We have also learned that to cause another Jew to transgress is violation of prohibition before a blind person do not place a stumbling block. So that's a famous one, right? Vayikra 19:14. So basically, to confuse someone. To confuse someone, to give the person information, and the person is blind in this area, right? Or somebody is speaking to somebody and giving him all of the information, so it's causing placing stumbling block in front of the blind. Consequently, when one relates negative information for a constructive purpose, he must be careful not to cause the listener to sin by believing the information as a fact. The proper way to convey negative information for a constructive purpose is to preface it with a statement such as, "Don't take my word for it, may be mistaken, but do not take the matter seriously." Okay. Okay, so as we said, so even if it's for a constructive purpose, right? Even for a constructive person, so you are talking to this person for a constructive purpose, but still he's not allowed to believe 100%, right? You're allowed to talk, but he's not allowed to believe 100%, so he has to do his own investigation. Okay, last paragraph one more time. The proper way to convey negative information for a constructive purpose is to preface it with a statement such as, "Do not take my word for it." So basically, you tell the person, "Okay, I give you the information, but it's your job to go and do investigation, right?" I may be mistaken, so I say, "Okay, don't take my word. I may be mistaken, but take the matter seriously." So you warn the person, and he or she is going to do whatever they want to do. You did your part. You warned the person. Okay, no problem. So we stop here. And we continue with next chapter, which is chapter number 8. The topic: change the mind, Chesach Hadas. Okay, introduction. In the previous chapter, we ascertained that one's bracha remains valid for the duration of his meal of eating session. However, after one terminates his eating session, his original bracha is no longer effective. In this chapter, we discuss actions which cause meal or eating session to terminate. Okay, so as we spoke many times, we said about eating session. So now we're going to actually give the definition of this eating session. Okay. Section 8 deals with the type of interruptions which cause the meal or eating session to end. For example, if one washes his hands for Maim Achronim, his meal is considered as having ended. So Maim Achronim is the last. What is it? The washing after before the Hamazon. Before Birchas Hamazon. Okay, so when you wash your hands before Birchas Hamazon, it's a clear indication that you will finish the meal. Okay. So then he changed his mind to choose to resume eating. It would be considered a new meal. A new bracha will be required. So we will deal with this issue. I mean, so this whatever he's going to eat after this termination of the meal is not going to cover by Birchas Hamazon. Right? So basically, don't put yourself in such a situation. That's clear advice. Right? Continue. In section B, we discuss types of interruptions, which do not cause the meal to be considered ended. For example, if one interrupts his meal to carry out lengthy business negotiation, he'll not require a new bracha when he resumes eating. Okay, provided that he does not change location. So, it's not only about. One second, let me remove this message. It's not only about business investigation. It's about anything. So you have you started the meal, right, and then you stop, and now you learning some Torah. You're talking around the table, so nobody's eating. So it's not your eating session. It did not terminate, even if you were around the table. I don't know, for half an hour, 40 minutes. I don't know, whatever time you're there around the table. So you're not finished. Okay, we said that. Okay, continue. So A, what caused a meal or eating session to end? Number one, recited Birchas Hamazon or Bracha Achrana. Okay, when a person recites Birchas Hamazon on bread or appropriate Bracha Achrana on other foods, he clearly indicates that he ended his meal. If he changes his mind, for example, he realizes that he is still hungry, he wants to resume eating, he must make new bracha rishona. Okay, so I mean, it's very, very straightforward. So if a person already says Birchas Hamazon or concluding blessing means bracha achrana, meaning the concluding blessing after the meal. So he ate his apple, he said the blessing, and that's it. He wants another apple, he needs another blessing. Okay. It looks straightforward, but let's see the details. There is a commentary. If one intended to continue eating, but mistakenly made bracha achrana, it is questionable if new bracha will be required. Wow. I'm not sure. So let's say about this apple. So a person ate apple, right? And I don't know what was on his mind. So he said the concluding bracha achrana. Now he wants to eat second apple. Okay. To illustrate, one arrived late at the Sheva brachas, and before he had the chance to eat his main course, he mistakenly joined with benching. Okay. As he recited Birchas Hamazon, he realized that he had not yet eaten the main course and he had not intended to end his meal. According to some poskim, since he did not really intended to end his eating session, it does not terminate, and he may continue eating without new bracha rishona. Others poskim rule that bracha achrana terminates the eating session. Under all circumstances, a new bracha is required. So let's finish commentary and then I explain. Therefore, if one intended to continue eating but mistakenly make bracha achrana, he may not make a new bracha, nor he may continue eating and by relying on the original bracha. For practical solutions in this type of situation, see chapter 16, section B. So here's the situation. Let's take here the situation from the book. So he said a person came late to Sheva brachas. Sheva brachas is blessed, 7 blessings, right? When we do after people getting married. So okay, it's very nice thing to do, right? And so people are there, and he came late, right? let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He was learning Torah, right? And he started eating, and suddenly people started saying Birchas Hamazon. Not sadly for him, but not sadly for them, because they were around for 5 hours by now, right? So they're saying Birchas Hamazon, and he's joined them. Why he joined them? He started responding and stuff like that. So basically, maybe he even said Birchas Hamazon, and in the middle, he realized, whoa, I didn't eat yet. Maybe I ate a little piece of bread, maybe a little salad, but I didn't eat the main course. So there are 2 opinions. Some poskim say, okay, it was not his intention to end his eating session. That's why it's not terminated. Other poskim said, what do you mean? He said the blessing after the food, so it is terminated. So basically, it's very. He put himself in delicate situation. He cannot continue eating, because a person is not allowed to eat without blessing, right? And he cannot say blessing, because maybe his original hamotzi blessing is still working, right? So that's the problem. So what is the solution? So there could be a few solutions. So the easiest solution is for him to terminate for sure. How do you terminate for sure? You go outside, right? You go outside, you go to the street, go here, go where, come back in 10 minutes, and that's it. So your eating session for sure was terminated, and now you must make a new blessing. That's the easiest thing. Or ask somebody, make a blessing, and keep you in mind. I mean, there is no other way. Okay, so number 1 was reciting Birchas Hamazon or Bracha Achrana, and number 2, preparing to bench or to recite Bracha Achrana. Okay, when a person makes preparation to bench, there is to recite Birchas Hamazon, right? Or to recite Bracha Achrana. His preparatory actions strongly indicate that he has ended his meal or his eating session. When a person makes a preparation to bench or to recite Bracha Achrana, his preparatory actions strongly indicate that he has ended the meal or eating session. Meaning a bench, when we say bench, we mean Birchas Hamazon. If he is prepared to say Birchas Hamazon, he is holding the book in his hand. Or he said Bracha Achrana, ending blessing. His preparatory action, I'm not sure, preparatory, but when he said that, or to recite, I apologize. So for example, he does not know how to say the ending blessing after he ate apple, but for sure. So now he took a siddur and found the blessing. So meaning he's ready to say this after blessing, right? Whether it's after bread or after this apple, doesn't matter. So in his action, he showed that that's it. He finished eating, and now he wants just to say the after blessing. That's it. Okay, continue. Therefore, as soon one starts preparing to bench, right? Even though he did not say as yet, even though he did not as yet begin to recite the Birchas Hamazon, according to many poskim, it is considered chesach chadas, and bracha rishona ceased to be valid. So if he holds this book in hand, so if he shows this that he's ready to finish the meal, so most poskim said that's it. He cannot eat any longer. He has to say the blessing. Counted. According to some poskim, in addition to the requirement for new bracha rishona, one must also make bracha achrana for all the food eaten after he started preparing to bench. Okay. However, most poskim disagree with the view. So one more time. According to some poskim, in addition to the requirement for a new bracha rishona, One must also make bracha achrana for all food eaten after he started preparing to bench. However, most poskim disagree with this. Okay, I apologize one more time. According to some poskim, in addition to the requirement of a new bracha rishana, one must also make bracha achrana for all the foods eaten after he started preparing to bench. However, most poskim disagree with this view. I mean, it's okay. So I'm going to explain what it said. So he's holding his siddur to say the blessing after this apple, right? So and now he decided to eat another apple. So everybody would agree, or most of the our poskim agree, that now he has to say if he wants to eat second apple, he has to make a new blessing on this apple. Okay, that's not a question that we concern with. This note, it says that some poskim say, according to some poskim, right, he has to say the blessing after the first apple, and then he can start second apple. But most poskim said no, he would be able to say only one blessing after he finished both apples. I mean, he finished the first one, so after the second apple, he would say after blessing, and it's going to cover both of them. It looks like it's a prevalent view. Okay. When one of the guests, when one is a guest in another in the other stable, the host rather than a guest determines when the meal or eating session terminates. For example, if the guest started preparing to bench, but the host was not ready to bench, the eating session did not terminate. If the host says, let's bench, since the guest is dependent on his host for the food, the host's decision to terminate the meal cause it to terminate, and the guest for the guest as well. Okay, we're going to see the commentary. So basically, here's the thing. So if I'm a guest in somebody's house, I don't know what they're going to bring. I have no idea. So I said, okay, probably that's it. The normal food. And we finished. So I prepared to bench, right? But they say, okay, guess what? We bring cake. We bring some desserts, right? So my intention to bench was because I thought there is no more food. So and if host brings more food, so I mean my intentions means exactly zero. You understand? On one hand, on the other hand, opposite is also true. So if the host says let's bench, okay, so that means that eating session is over. That's it. I mean, it's his house, it's his table. He is a boss. Okay. So commentary. However, if when the host prepares to end the meal, the guest specifically intended to continue eating, he may do so, and not required to make bracha rishana. Host prepared to end the meal, and guest specifically intended to continue eating, he may do so, and not required new bracha rishana. So basically, the way I see it, right? So somebody came late, and now they before everybody runs out, let's say, they want to make a zimun, and we have 10 people, and some people need to leave, and they need to go somewhere. So the host would say, okay, let's bench, but you Moshe, you continue eating. There is no problem. Let's just finish saying Birchas Hamazon. We're going to talk to sit around, no problem, right? So even though the host is saying Birchas Hamazon because the meal is terminated officially, but for this guy Moshe who came late, it's not terminated. That's the thing. Continue. The poskim advised that he should mention to those around him that he does not wish to bench at the present time. In this manner, when he continues eating without making a new bracha, it will be understood that he had not terminated his meal. There is the bracha still in effect. The maris ein will be avoided. So So the author say, tell people around you. So I came late, so you bench. I'm going to continue eating. Don't look at me. Do whatever you need to do, basically, right? So everybody knows that he's not like some ignoramus, like everybody's benching and he's continue eating. What kind of person is he, right? And especially without the blessing, right? So if eating session terminated, as we said before, and somebody wants to eat, he needs to make a new blessing. But for this person, he said, I never terminated my blessing, so I can continue eating. And to avoid marisain, marisain is it's like people see him and they think that he's doing something wrong, even though he does not. That's the marisain. The translation is like the way I see. So I mean that's not what it looks like, right? It looks like this, but it's not true. Okay. The following actions consider preparations for benching. Benching, as we said, the same Birchas Hamazon. And if he wants to continue eating, a new bracha rishona is required. Okay, so following as the actions. Washing my machranim. So water before saying Birchas Hamazon, right? Initially, after one, wash my machranim, he should immediately bench. He should not resume eating, nor delay benching for other reasons. For example, in order to carry on a conversation or even to speak divrei Torah. Okay, so you're ready to say Birchas Hamazon. You do my machranim, and you start benching. So it's when you wash your hands before benching, it's clear indication that you finish and that's what your intention. If, however, there is a need to continue eating, he may do so. Okay, but only after a few bracha rishonas is made. Okay, rishona is made. Also, one may delay benching for other reasons. For example, to engage in inappropriate conversation, in important conversation. Sorry. If there is a pressing need to do so. Okay. So let's read one more time to explain. If there is a need to continue eating, he may do so. I'm not sure what is the need to. Why would be a need to continue eating? I'm not sure. But only after a new bracha rishona is made. Okay, all right. So he washed his hands. Now he wants to continue eating for whatever reason. He needs to say new blessing. Okay. Also, one may delay benching for other reasons. For example, to engage in important conversation, if there is a pressing need to do so. When he is subsequently ready to bench, he should once again wash my machranim. So okay, so he's not going to eat. Something came up. He needs to talk to somebody. Okay, it's proper to wash my machranim and start benching immediately. Wherever something came up, right? Possible. Happens. And so they say, okay, go ahead with your conversation. But when you finish, you have to wash your hands one more time. We don't wash hands, fingertips, right? Continue. So A was washing my machranim. So we see all of these signs for ending the meal. My machranim. So next is B, lifting cup of wine. Lifting a cup of wine to bench is comparable to washing my machranim. This too indicates that one has finished eating and a new bracha rishona will be required. Initially, after one leaves the cup of benching to bench, according to some poskim, Birchas Hamazon should immediately be recited. Okay. Therefore, after lifting the cup, it is preferable not to continue eating or to delay benching for any reason. So commentary. If he does continue eating, new bracha rishona is required. So lifting the cup. So there is a thing when especially when you have zimun, you have 3 people. When you have 10 people, saying Birchas Hamazon together. I mean, there's a leader, the other respond him. So it's proper to do it on a cup of wine. So when the leader takes cup of wine, that's, guess what? I mean, he's not saying anything, but it's comparable to my machranim. So meaning that I'm ready to start Birchas Hamazon. So if somebody wants to eat after the leader leaves the cup, so he has to say new blessing. Continue. C. Saying let us bench. Let us recite Bracha Achrona. So when he said let us bench, I'm not sure who is he. Maybe the owner, maybe the host, right? Let's see. Commentary. When one say let us bench, okay, I pause it. This person, when he's let us bench, or please bring the wine for benching, etc., while not being as conclusive as washing my machranim or lifting the cup or wine for benching, it does nevertheless indicate that he has finished his meal. Okay, so when he said let us bench, I mean, maybe they're going to bench in a few minutes, but still it's an indication that he finished his meal. Okay, continue. There is a difference of opinion among the Rishonim regarding whether bracha achrona will be required for one wishing to resume eating after saying let us bench. So if he lift up the cup, we agree that he has to make new blessing. If he wash his hands, we agree that he needs to bless. But just for saying let us bench, so it's doubt. Okay, so commentaries say, according to the opinion of Rosh, should one wish to resume eating or drinking, after saying let us bench, etc., new bracha will be required. Rabbi Yonah and Ran, however, of the opinion that saying let us bench, etc., is not clear indication that one wishes to end his meal. Maybe he wants to end his meal, but not right now. That's the way I understand. The rule that one may resume eating without making new bracha. Okay. Resume eating without making new bracha. According to all views, one must make a new bracha. Should he wish to resume drinking without eating. According to all views, one must make new bracha. Should he wish to resume drinking without eating. Okay. Also according to all views, if one prepared to bench and also change location, a new bracha is required. Okay, that's okay. So let's go over these opinions one more time. So Rosh says, so once he said let's bench. If one should one wish to resume eating or drinking, after saying let us bench, new bracha will be required. So that's Rosh. Rabbi Yonah, one more time, and Ran, however, of the opinion that saying let us bench, etc., is not clear indication that one wishes to end his meal. Okay, maybe yes, maybe no. Right? Thus, they rule that one may resume eating without making new bracha. So Rosh says new bracha. Rabbi Yonah and Ram said no new bracha required. According to all views, one must make new bracha should he wish to resume drinking without eating. So it's very interesting. So if you so eating session, when you say the eating session is expired, so if he wants to continue eating, according to these two opinions at least, he can continue eating, right? According to Rosh, he's not allowed. By drinking, nobody agreed that he can drink without blessing. even this Rabbeinu Yonah and Ran. Okay. And last statement was, also according to all views, if one prepared to bench and also change location, a new bracha is required. So after we change location, and we didn't get to it, but maybe it's next paragraph, I'm not sure. So he would need to make a new blessing. So if you start eating in this cave, in this room, then you went to another room. In some instances, we would need to make a new blessing. Continue. It was I. Where is I? A second. Okay. So let me read the first sentence that we just commented on. There is a difference of the opinion among the Rishonim regarding whether a new bracha will be required for one wishing to resume eating after saying, let us bench. Since the halachic issue is not resolved, the poskim advise that one should not resume eating after having said, let us bench. Okay, so better to stay on the safe side, right? Commentaries say, one may not arbitrarily choose to make a bracha, since according to the opinion of Rabbeinu Yonah and Ran, it would be a bracha lavatala, so meaning bracha in vain. So when we have these two opinions, two strong opinions on one side and another side, you just do not do what you want, right? So in parentheses it says for practical application, for a practical solution in this type of situation, see chapter 16. So this just gave us actually a hint in the previous blessing, in the previous note. Just go to another room, go outside, just terminate somehow your eating session, and that's it. I would say like the most straightforward way, just finish the blessing. After blessing, if you want to eat, and wait, do some activity, go outside, go here, go there, and 5 minutes later you will be able to continue blessing with new, continue eating with new blessing. Don't put yourself in this questionable situation, basically. Okay. Next possibility, bracha achrona. Just 1 second. Let me see how long is this chapter. Bracha achrona. Similarly, at meal without bread, by saying let us recite the bracha achrona, one demonstrates that his eating session is considered over. Therefore, after one says let us recite bracha achrona, it is advisable that he should not resume eating. So, first example that we had was Birchas Hamazon. So, but it's actually exactly the same thing about any other food, right? It's just different blessing. So, if he said let us recite bracha achrona, so I don't know, maybe they were eating somewhere and now they want to go inside. They want to go pray. They want to go somewhere. Doesn't matter. So that's an indication of in the movie session. Next one. Shir al Amalos. Right? Although saying let us bench is considered the termination of the one's meal, singing or reciting Shir al Amalos is not considered termination, since people occasionally resume eating after singing Shir al Amalos. So what does it mean? So before saying Birchas Hamazon, there are psalms, right? Some say, some don't say. I do say, right? So, but this psalm is not part of Birchas Hamazon, basically. I mean, it's always in the Sidurim or in the benches, but as I said, some people skip it. Don't ask me why, right? I always say. So they say just because he said this Shir al Amalos does not mean that he ends his session. Okay, no problem. In some shul, I saw in some shul they say Shir al Amalos. Did they say? No. I'll take it back. No. I don't. I haven't seen that anybody would start eating after Shir al Amalos. Continue. Number 3. Decided to stop eating. Okay, number 3. What was number 2? 1 second. So number 1 was reciting Birchas Hamazon and Bracha Achrona. Number 2 was preparing to bench. She recited to recite Brachot. Number 3 decided to stop eating. There is a difference of the opinion among the Rishonim regarding whether one is required to make a new bracha Rishana. Should he wish to resume his eating after having decided to stop? Okay. The poskim advise, therefore, that one should not resume eating or drinking after having decided to stop. Okay. So one more time, decided to stop eating. There is a difference of the opinion among the Rishonim regarding whether one is required to make new bracha Rishana, should he wish to resume eating after having decided to stop. So in all of the cases, somebody, like as we said before, somebody said out loud, or he did some action to show everybody that's his intention. In this case, it was only decided decided up in his head, right? That's what I want to do. I wanted to stop eating. So poskim disagree. Can he continue eating or not? The poskim advise, therefore, that one should not resume eating or drinking after having decided to stop. So since there are poskim on both sides, so we go in the middle of the road. Okay, meaning don't eat. It makes no difference with regard to this halacha whether the decision to stop eating was expressed verbally or merely resolved in his mind. In either case, it is advisable that one not resume eating. So one more time. It makes no difference with regard to this halacha whether the decision to stop eating was expressed verbally or merely resolved in his mind. In either case, it is advisable that one not resume eating. Okay, it is advisable, so not resume eating. Okay, no problem. So basically, he said out loud, he thought about it. Basically, better not to. For example, if one is on a diet and after eating the first course resolved not to eat more, subsequently he changed his mind. That's a poor person, right? He changed his mind and decided to eat the main course. After all, since it is a halachically questionable if new bracha will be required, it is advisable that he not eat the main course. For a practical solution of this type, see chapter 16, section B. So we're going to get to that. Basically, hear this blessing from somebody else, or to terminate his eating session, go outside, or make a blessing on something that was not covered. Okay, that in the same bracha category. Okay, now number 4, sleep. Sleeping in the middle of the meal constitutes the termination of the meal or eating session. Should one wish to resume his meal after he wakes up, a new bracha rishana will be required prior to continue eating. Okay, so meaning if person falls asleep, maybe he's weak, he's sick. It's possible, right? He woke up, he needs a new blessing. There is a difference of opinion as to what type of sleep and how much sleep constitutes the termination of one's eating session. Some poskim advise that one should make bracha achrana before going to sleep. Okay, so I mean, the person is tired, he wants to put his head down and stuff like that. So Seber has bracha achrana, meaning concluded blessing, can go to sleep. So BeEzrat, if one accidentally fell asleep at the table and slept for up to an hour, a new bracha will not be made. Should not be made. BeEzrat meaning after the fact. If he slept less than 1 hour, up to an hour, a new bracha should not be made. Okay. Note, but it's only after the fact, right? Not in an instance where the meal consisted of bread was terminated, a new bracha rishana is required. One must wash his hands before resuming to eat. However, he should not recite Al Nitalas Yadayim. Okay, so a new blessing on the bread is required. A washing of on the hands is required, but without blessing on the washing. Okay. Part B. Interruptions which do not cause the eating session to end. The following types of interruptions do not cause the meal of eating session to terminate. Number one, involve them in the business. So they have business conversations, so it's not interruption. When one interrupts his meal to make a business call or to carry on interview or a negotiation with a colleague or a client, even if the discussion is lengthy, it is not considered as if he terminates his meal and the new bracha is not required. Okay. It is advisable, however, to bench or to make a bracha achrana prior in engaging oneself in what might become lengthy discussion. It is advisable, however, to bench or to make bracha achrana prior to engaging oneself in what might become lengthy discussion. Okay, so I mean, if you just say the concluding blessing and you're free, right? Don't put yourself in this situation. Regarding cases where one had to leave the premises to conduct his transaction, see chapter 9. Okay, we're going to learn about next chapter. Number 2, davening. So I mean, it's not an interruption. Interrupting one's meal to daven is not considered a termination, provided that he has not changed location. There is he davens at the place where he's having his meal. So let's say in a simcha hall, in a synagogue, right? There is some festivities, and there is a mincha time or malit time. So they pray 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They pray and they go back to the meal. There is no problem. Regarding cases in which one goes to shul in order to daven with minyan, see chapter 9. So basically, is it change of location? I would say it is change of location. So if they pray in the same place, there is no problem. If not, there is a problem. Number 3, guest, visitor, husband. Guest, visitor, husband. Okay. A guest visitor. Okay, when someone is a guest or a visitor dining at someone else's house, even if he says, let's bench, okay, he's a guest, or decided to stop eating, he may change his mind and resume eating without having to make a new bracha. So meaning, as we said before, he did not know. The reason for this is that his own decision to eat or stop eating is tentative, being the subject of action of his host. I mean, if host brings more food, I eat. If he does not, I don't eat. There is no more food. Thus, although he may feel that he is finished, the host might serve another course or might urge him to eat, causing him to change his mind, right? Something fresh, very nicely looking food, right? And continue eating. Since at the time he made his bracha, he knew that the continuation of the meal is a subject to the host's intention. His own action, saying "let us bench," etc., does not terminate the meal. Okay, so basically he's a guest, and it's not up to him to decide when they finish the meal. Continue. However, he's firmly to decide that he wishes to stop eating, and no matter what the host will serve, and regardless of how much the host will insist, he will not continue eating, it would be considered as a termination. In this case, should he change his mind, it is advisable not to resume eating. Okay, so which makes sense. I mean, maybe he has a stomachache. I mean, he does not have to announce to everybody what's going on with his health, right? So he said, that's it, I'm finished. They said, no, please eat more. So okay, don't eat, basically. For him, it's the eating session finished. And next one, be husband. According to some poskim, if someone would hesitate to refuse food which his wife will serve, even if he says let's bench or decide to stop eating, he may change his mind and resume eating without having making new bracha. Some poskim say, I mean, he's a husband. She cooked the whole night, all Thursday night, and now he said that's it. I want to go to sleep. So it's like she would get upset, right? Continue. The reason for this is that his own decision to stop eating is tentative, being subject to the dictates of his wife, right? She's a little dictator. I'm joking. Just as when someone is a guest says, let us bench, and decide to stop eating, he may change his mind and resume eating without having to make a new bracha. So too, when one is subject to the dictates of his wife, he may resume eating without having to make a new bracha. So basically, same, like in some sense, like he's like a guest. He does not know, he's a little popular. He does not know what to do. She said eat, he eats. She said sleep, he sleeps, right? So basically, I'm joking, but he's trying not to upset her, right? So she said, please, I was cooking the whole night and now you're not going to even try. So, okay, so in this case, he can try, and this is not included. I mean, he does not have to say new blessing. For example, he may decide that he finished eating, but his wife may say that she spent a long time preparing the next course, causing him to change his mind, right, and continue eating. Since at the time he made the bracha, he knew that his meal may be subject to the dictates of his wife. His own action of saying let us bench do not terminate his meal, right? So I mean, she said no, you don't know, we still eating, whatever. No, but it's all joking aside. I mean, if that's what they do, women. I mean, she works. Let's say she takes care of the children. When exactly she's going to cook? She's cooking half of the night on Thursday night, right? That's what women do, right? And now this husband, this little king, right? He does not want to try. She was cooking for him, and now he said, "I want to go to sleep." No, that's not how it works, right? However, if he firmly decided that he wishes to stop eating, right? He's on a diet, let's say, right? And regardless of what his wife will serve, and no matter how much he will insist, he will not continue eating, it would be considered a termination. In this case, he should change his mind. It is advisable not to resume eating. So basically, I mean, but okay. If I said eat, I say it's better to eat a little, and that's it. Do not upset your wife. Okay, so we finish the chapter. Next chapter, number 9, BeEzrat HaShem next time, next Thursday. And the subject is change of location. Okay, any questions? We'll stop here.
Other topic.
Go ahead.
Can you borrow your tools to anoint you for him to use these items on Shabbos?
Oh, no. So if it's specifically for Shabbos, you cannot, right? So if it's in general, so let's say he said I need to I don't know to build a shelf in my house, right? And he came to you on Wednesday or Thursday, so you can give it to him. And when he said I want to build a shelf, he meant that he's going to work on Shabbos. I mean, that when he's off, so there is no problem, right? But if he comes up Friday night before Shabbos, so you're not allowed to give it to him. If he said no, it's for Monday. I'm working on Shabbos, but I'm off not on Sunday. It's for Sunday, so you can give it to him.
So right now is Friday. It's already Friday or the Erev Shabbos, I think. Right now, maybe.
Yeah. No. Right now, it's not Erev Shabbos. Erev Shabbos starts. Even though Erev is the evening, you're right, but it's actually start in the morning. In the morning of Friday. Yeah, the wording is confusing. Yes.
So, for example, if someone comes here in my location is Thursday night.
Yeah,
Is there
Thursday.
any, is allowed to come and to borrow him?
Yeah. So if it's if I would say do not ask him when he's going to work. So if he, you see, he can start tomorrow, or he can start right away to do whatever he wants. If he wants to continue on Shabbos, it's his own business. You understand? Just don't put him in such a situation that he has no choice and he has to work on Shabbos. You understand? If he says I need 2 days to do it, right? And it's a Friday. So if he said I need 2 days to finish, if you said I need it Friday, I need the Shabbos after Shabbos, Motzi Shabbos, or Sunday morning. It's you're making more work on Shabbos with your tools. That's the problem. You understand?
So if he said, I need your, for example, this, I put 2 examples here, audio amplifier and camping gasoline generator.
Okay.
If he said, I need your items because I am going to do something with your stuff on Shabbos, can I borrow or cannot borrow?
So he said I'm going to work with you things on Shabbos explicitly.
Really, because actually, which day you need these items? I asked him this, which day, because I was thinking that maybe it was not totally allowed to borrow some.
No, okay. So if you give him things and he's going to work him use them on weekdays on Shabbos, there is no problem. If only on Shabbos, that's the issue.
Oh, it's
not really. You understand? If you give him your generator, right? He said, I don't have electricity. Can I borrow a generator from you? Okay, he's going to use it on Thursday night, on Friday, maybe on Shabbos, maybe on Sunday. I mean, it's up to him. You understand? That's not the problem. But if he asks you, comes on Friday night and asks you, so for sure he's going to use it on Shabbos, your tools, that's the issue. You understand?
Oh, I read something, or I was trying to make it clear for me, and so in this case, is to add one more detail. Is it's not really for working, more like for doing some kind of recreational event. Like he say, I'm going to how do you say the outside of the city. I don't know how to say that. The farm, field. I don't know how to say.
Okay, all right. To do a barbecue, right? To make like a fire.
Yes,
okay.
yes. That would be a good example. So it counts as, does it count as work?
Yes, because your tools are going to work on Shabbos, 100%. So if you give him on Thursday, let's say, and he can make on Sunday, you don't know when he's going to make this barbecue. It's his own business. So, and he's going to be on Shabbos, there is no problem. But right before the Shabbat, before the Shabbat starts, for sure he's going to go. And he said, okay, I need it for tomorrow morning. That's the problem.
Okay.
If he borrows for a few days, for the whole week, so there is no problem. I mean, he can do whatever he wants. Maybe he's off on Wednesday. How do you know?
So whatever he does is considered always working, even if he's going to do something that is enjoyment of something.
Yes, yeah. I mean, your tools are going to work. Yes, for him it's enjoyment. For you generator is work. Yes.
Okay. Clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? We'll stop here. All right. So okay, let's stop here. So we finished chapters. It's very nice, and I wish you good Shabbos until Monday. Till Monday, BeEzrat HaShem. Thank you very much. Good night.
Good Shabbos.